The Texans lost to the Ravens 41-7. It was a complete clown show today. I mean, how in the world do you have 2 weeks to prepare for this game and you don't even show up? Literally, they didn't show up. There is one player on this damn team that deserves no part of the blame, and that is DeAndre Hopkins. He was, making the catches, getting first downs. He's like the only guy that really showed up. And before I go in more to this, I just want to apologize if I sound kind of different or unenergetic. I have been sick these past few days, so yeah, if my voice decides to give out or something, well, that's why. But back to this circus. That's what it was. It was like a complete circus. And the lazy person is going to simply say, it's on the coaching. I'm not going to say it's on the coaching because it's definitely on the coaching. But it's not only just on the coaching. Saying it's just coaching is a completely lazy take. It was a complete effort by the Texans to look this bad. Everyone played their part in looking terrible today. Everyone except DeAndre Hopkins. Like I said, Deshaun Watson, from the very first drive, you saw it. I was kind of hoping that, okay, it was just that play. Maybe he'll, get back to playing normal. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about on the play where he fumbled on the first drive. Texans were easily driving down the field. D-Hop was tearing them up. I think we had 3 first downs. We were in Ravens territory, at the 45 around there. And then Watson decides to play like the old Watson. The Watson that refuses to throw the football away. The Watson that holds onto the ball forever and takes unnecessary sacks. He did that, and guess what? He fumbled the ball. Like I said, I was fine, what? Maybe that's just a one-time thing. He hasn't been doing that since, week 4 versus the Panthers. Maybe it was just that one play, and, he'll get out of it. But what happens? Nope. Does it all day. All day he was doing that. He took, 6 sacks. And I think only one of them was on the offensive line when the Ravens blitzed and 3 people got through and got Deshaun Watson in the backfield. But the rest of them, they were all on Deshaun Watson holding on to the ball for way too long. Now, just because all those sacks were on Watson doesn't mean the O-line isn't to blame in this game. Like I said, everyone played their part in this, garbage showing. And not to take away from the Ravens completely destroyed the Texans, Lamar Jackson did some things. The Ravens defense did their thing. But, again, it's with the Texans. Oh, wait. Let me say this, because I know some people are going to be like, oh, man, the refs. Yes, Marlon Humphrey should have been called for pass interference. Yes, O'Brien was smart to challenge it because it was obviously pass interference. O'Brien should have won the challenge, and the Texans probably would have scored a touchdown, and they would have gone up 7-0. That's fine right there. But the Texans, they lost 41-7. Even if they get that call right, score is 41-14. Doesn't make a difference. So I don't want to hear anyone saying, but the refs. No. Texans got completely embarrassed. They got destroyed. And, back to the O-line. the Ravens aren't so good at stopping the run. You know, they've struggled here and there. Okay, then you put into consideration that Michael Pierce, their version of DJ Reader, was out. The Texans should have been able to run the football pretty easily. But what happened? They couldn't get nothing going. And if you look at the stats, you know, like I say all the time, stats are misleading. You can definitely twist up the stats and make them look however you want to make them look. Take away that long Carlos Hyde touchdown run at the end of the game. Because, let's be real, the Ravens, they just let them run in for a touchdown. That's what it was, man. Like, so the Texans couldn't get a running game going. O-line wasn't getting enough push, and I don't know, I guess maybe the running backs weren't seeing properly. So, you know, offensive line couldn't get running lanes open. Running backs couldn't run. Deshaun Watson was holding on to the ball for a very long time. I mean, come on, dude. And then he didn't take the checkdowns. Watson was doing such a good job of taking what the defense was giving him. Today, Watson regressed. And, you know, like I said, coaching too. Because O'Brien didn't do, and I say O'Brien because O'Brien is the play caller, guys. You know, it's not Tim Kelly. It's been O'Brien all season. Now, O'Brien could have called some better plays. You know, like, I felt like after the first few couple of drives, the Texans kind of went away from what was working. And what was working? DeAndre Hopkins. They went away from DeAndre Hopkins. They didn't really have a short passing attack. They should have had some plays designed for Kiki QT. Remember back that game, what was it, week 4, 2017, when Kiki completely destroyed the Colts with underneath routes? I didn't see any of that. I didn't see Duke Johnson in the passing game, in the short passing game, until it was garbage time. Like, come on. O'Brien's got to do a better job of throwing out better plays out there. Like, yes, Watson held on to the ball forever. Yes, you know, the O-line couldn't get push in the run game, but some of it falls on O'Brien as well. Like I said, better plays, short passing plays. You see your quarterback out there, you know, something's going on in his head. And by the way, I think I know what was going on with Watson today. What I think was going on with Watson today was simply Watson was just trying to outduel Lamar Jackson. Because for what reason is Deshaun Watson going to hold on to the ball forever looking for the big play? I mean, he hasn't been doing it the past 4 or 5 weeks. Why is he going to do it now? Because there's a quarterback that a lot of people are comparing him to on the opposite side of the field. Lamar Jackson. He was just trying to outduel Lamar Jackson. And, you know, the team suffered because of it. Like, if Watson played Deshaun Watson kind of football, this game would have been completely different. But Deshaun Watson decided to be immature and tried to outduel the other guy. And, you know, there's a result. There's a result. But like I said, O'Brien could have been a Watson. Hey, we're going to move to a more of a short passing game. We're going to try to hit D-Hop in the slot again. We're going to get Kiki QT on the underneath routes and Duke Johnson out of the backfield. You know, O'Brien could have easily done that. Little RPOs to Darren Fells. I only saw that once. Could have done that too. Wasn't there. Like I said, only one time. So O'Brien definitely could have done a way better job. Defensively, no pass rush. None whatsoever. At first, defense, you know, they started out good. Disciplined, and, you know, they were containing them. as the game wore on, defense just started losing contain, started missing tackles, in all sorts of ways on the running backs, on Lamar Jackson scrambling, on Lamar Jackson, quarterback keeps and stuff. All sorts of ways the Texans started messing up. What do I blame that on? Offense. We know this Texans defense isn't good. Let's be real. They're not that good. What this Texans defense needs is to stay off the damn field. Because late in games, they're not good enough to get pressure. The secondary, well, we know what it is. It's not completely healthy. We missed Roby today, and some other guys went down as well. But like I said, we know what this secondary is. This team, this defense, it's already bad as it is. We don't need them being out there tired. The Ravens did what the Texans should have done. Play keep away. The Ravens defense was well rested all game, and they were able to make plays all game. The Texans defense started off pretty good, but once the offense couldn't sustain drives, it all went downhill from there. This defense, we can't have them out there tired, or else they won't make plays. It's up to the offense to keep your defense off the field. That's just the type of team that the Texans are right now. We don't have a good defense. Even with J.J. Watt, we don't have a good defense. Maybe our defense gets better when Roby comes back, probably, but it's not going to get much better. It's not. If Roby plays his game, the game is probably, 7-38, 37 or something like that. It's not going to make a difference. What would have made a difference is if the Texans offense, if Deshaun Watson, if they could have sustained drives, keep the Texans defense off the field, then maybe the Texans would have stood a chance in this game. But like I said, it was just a complete clown show. It was a complete circus out there, man. This is honestly the worst loss in the Bill O'Brien era. The worst. You can talk about 30-0 versus KC in the playoffs. I don't care about that one. We had Brian Hoyer. You could talk about 27-0 versus Jacoby Brissett versus New England. I don't care. Osweiler was the quarterback. You could talk about Miami and Atlanta in 2015 when we got blown out. Don't care. Brian Hoyer and Ryan Mallett were our quarterbacks. There is absolutely no reason why this team should lose 41-7. There's absolutely no reason why this team should put up 0 points in 3 quarters with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. And like I said, Deshaun Watson ain't innocent. Bill O'Brien ain't innocent. This is a contribution from every single player. Every single player besides DeAndre Hopkins contributed to this loss. Everyone. Kiki QT, that terrible route on 3rd down where he was in the exact same spot with DeAndre Hopkins, that's why QT got benched. Attention to detail. He wasn't supposed to be there. So, that puts 2 guys in an area where there should only be 1 guy. I think the only other guy who didn't really have any boneheaded mistakes was probably Kenny Stills. Other than that, everyone was just complete trash. And I'm sorry, guys. I know some of you guys are don't like when someone talks mess about the Texans, but I gotta be real here. The Texans today, they were trash. I love Watson. He's our quarterback. He's our franchise quarterback. But he was trash today. Everyone except D-Hop were trash today. The Ravens, credit to them, they outplayed and outcoached the Texans. That's what it was. In every phase of the game, the Texans, they lost. Now, I do have one positive. Just one positive for you people that only want to hear the positives. The one positive is the Texans play on Thursday. A quick turnaround. There's not enough time to sit on this game and dwell on it. You gotta move on, because we play the Colts next week. And if we lose, guess what? We're probably not gonna win this division. If we win, then we're fine. But still, this is embarrassing. Pathetic. And just all around frustrating. Again, like every single time, the Texans are somewhat looking legit. 2011, 2012, last year, 2018. It's all right there for the Texans. Oh, get a first round bye. Texans get this win. They're in a good position. What do the Texans do? They lose. I don't care how they do it. Somehow, some way, they find a way to lose. And that's what it was today, man. It was right there for them. And they completely just didn't show up. They didn't show up. Hopefully, next week against Indianapolis goes better. Because if the Texans lose, then they're in trouble. Because, 6-5 ain't pretty. Honestly, 6-4 ain't pretty either. 6-4, that tells me you're just an okay team. Nothing special. Hopefully the Texans are able to string some wins here down the stretch, because I am completely tired. If you guys haven't noticed this, there's a trend going on with the Texans right now. Lose one, win two. Lose one, win two. Just pay attention. Lost to New Orleans, beat the Jags and the Chargers. Then you lost to the Panthers, and then beat the Falcons and the Chiefs. Then they lost to the Colts, and then beat the Raiders and the Jaguars, and now they lost to the Ravens. Lose one, win two. At some point, the Texans have to go on a win streak. I don't care if it's 4 games, 5 games, they gotta go on a win streak. You can't keep doing this whole little lose one, win two thing, because at that point you're gonna end up at 10-6 and getting bounced out of the playoffs in the first round. That's pathetic. So pathetic, and hopefully this trend breaks. Hopefully the Texans go on a little win streak, and hopefully when this trend breaks, hopefully it's not next week, losing 2 in a row. Hopefully this team does something different, because today, like I said, pathetic. A clown show. Frustrating. Any bad word you can think of describing something, that was the Texans. Just an all-around embarrassment. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.